Hi guys, welcome to another video. So you really want to go into a luxury store and buy something maybe from Chanel, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Dior, any of those stores, but you feel really worried about going in, you're intimidated. Well, what is the worst that can happen? Well, I'm here to tell you that the worst that can happen has already happened to me. And what happened? I'm going to tell you. Let's get going. So what are the things that really stop you guys from going in? Well, you've told me that what stops you mainly is just the fear of people looking at you and assuming you're not good enough, or you're not worthy, or that you're not the type of customer that they are looking for. You're worried about the sales associates being a little bit snobby or snooty or rude, and that does happen. It does. Somebody's going to be expecting you to buy something, and what if you just want to have a look and then you have to walk away and you've wasted their time. There's so many things that make us worry. We worry that we're going to embarrass ourselves, we're going to trip up, we're going to fall, we're going to there are lots of things that stop us, but I'm here to tell you that we are all human and the world does not stop turning. Even if the worst thing happens, it's still not the end of the world. So I'm going to tell you two things that have happened to me in luxury stores, and at the time, absolutely mortifying. I'm not going to lie. But then you realise that actually it's okay. I am still here to tell the tale. I am to tell the tale. Oh dear, yeah, stick to the day job. So the first thing that happened to me was I was invited to my very first ever event at Dior, and I was so excited, but I was so nervous. It was going to be a look at the new collection. It was a champagne reception, an afternoon tea, and of course you get to do some shopping in store. And I was so excited, but I was so nervous. I was going on my own and I was worried about all the things we've talked about already. I get very socially anxious, and I want to do certain things, but I let things stop me. And this time I thought, no, I'm going to go. And I did think, what is the worst that can happen? Well, the worst that could happen did happen to me that day. I don't like a lot of people. I like people, I just don't like a lot of people. And it just gives me dreadful social anxiety, and I'm worried about what I'm going to wear, and all these things start coming into my head about having meltdowns about things. And actually it's just a really nice thing that I wanted to do. So I put my big girl pants on and I thought, I'm going to go. And yeah, the upshot was that I was sat next to a really lovely lady. I was so nervous that I went full pelt into chat, which is what I do when I'm nervous and when I'm anxious. A lot of people go quiet. I start talking and gesticulating, and the upshot was that I managed to hit my glass of orange juice. I literally smashed it across the floor, and it was just awful, because number one, it was orange juice, it wasn't a clear liquid. Number two, cream carpet. Of course it had to be a cream carpet. Number three, it was a cream armchair that it also went down. And number four, I actually smashed the glass. So it was very theatrical, very dramatic. It wasn't just a little knocking over of something. And, oh, number five, on the coffee table was a coffee table book that had fabric cover. And of course it went over that as well. Now I was absolutely mortified, and I just felt like I needed to just go home. But Susie, who's my gorgeous SA in Dior, came running over, sorted it, got hold of me. I remember getting hold of me and saying, it's fine, no harm done. And I'm saying, I'll buy the coffee table book, I'll pay for the carpet to be cleaned. I am so sorry. I was absolutely mortified. But the worst thing was, there was a lady who was milling around who saw what happened and screamed at the top of her voice, save the book, save the book. That's a really expensive coffee table book. And I couldn't have been more mortified. However, I'm still here to tell the tale. And what it has taught me is that, as I've said before, we are all human, and it's okay. Nobody thought any less of me. Maybe the lady who shouted at me did, but nobody else did. And I did think to myself, At the time I was mortified, I'm not gonna lie. But later I did think, if that had happened to somebody else in that room, I would have rushed to help that person. I wouldn't have thought they were an idiot or not worthy or should go home or anything like that. I would have done my best to put them at ease. And that's what most people in that room did for me. And so it just breaks the ice as well. It does. And later on, when I'd calmed down, we could have a giggle about it. So any drink that came near me, I was, oh, be careful, she's near it. And we could have a giggle. And I think that's the best thing that you can do, because as I've said, don't let it spoil your experiences. But anyway, that was very embarrassing. So you want to go and try on some beautiful shoes or boots in a luxury store, but they are so expensive and you just want to have a look, but you really want to try some on because actually you might like to buy some and you don't know what size, and you don't want to do it online and have to buy multiple sizes. So what is the worst that can happen? What would you guys worry about? Put in the comments down below. What would you worry about if you wanted to go try on some boots? Would you worry that you have to, I don't know, wasting somebody's time who's there to assist you? Maybe you're worried that you don't know what the price is and you daren't ask. Maybe you're worried that you're going to have to buy them. You're obligated to buy them if you try them on. Or maybe that you trip over or something like that. Well, what I did was even worse. It was more embarrassing than that. And again, I'm still here to tell the tale. So I went into Christian Louboutin. I wanted to try on some gorgeous boots. And I'd been looking at these boots online, and I went into Harrods and I again thought, I am going to go. I was with my husband and he was like, come on, you're going to try some on, because he knew that I was really shy about these things. So we go in, the sales associate was very lovely. I tried on the boots. They were very nice. They were very high. They were very uncomfortable. And I decided they were very nice, but they weren't for me. I couldn't get them off. I could not get them off. They were welded to my feet. I started to think, oh dear. But I thought, we're not in panic mode yet. We're not in panic mode. We're okay. We are okay. I can just stealth-like try and just get them off. They weren't budging. So I said to my husband, you need to help me. So he's trying to, without causing a big ruckus and fuss, trying to help me get them off. We managed to get one off. The other one, it would not budge. The sales associate came back over to see how we're doing, and I was so mortified. So he asked, what do we think of them, madam? And I just said, they're very nice, but I can't get them off. And he said, happens all the time, happens all the time. And he started, well, he could not get it off either. And it was so embarrassing. And he's heaving and heaving. My husband is in fits of laughter. I am mortified. He pulled so hard, he pulled me off the chair. He pulled me off the chair because, anyway, eventually we got them off. And I had to just leave. It was just so embarrassing. But when I look back now, it's funny. If I'd have seen somebody else go through that in store, I wouldn't have thought, what an idiot, or, you know, how embarrassing, or look at that lady there. I'd have just thought it was funny. And when I look back now, it is funny, and we can laugh about it, and I can tell you guys about it because it's just funny. So I think if you can work out, if you can know that the worst thing that could happen has already happened, what on earth is to be intimidated about, to go in and actually just try some on? It's really not the biggest problem in the world. It really isn't. I also do think that I have become a lot more confident over the years, and I think that does help in store. I think if you go in with not of air of arrogance, or I don't make a grand entrance and expect everybody to come running. I hate all of that. But I'm confident enough to go and speak to somebody and ask for some help. If everybody seems busy, I will just grab somebody's attention and say, is there somebody free who can help me? Or whatever. I will go up and ask the question, because I think when you go in and you're very timid, which is what I used to do, I think people do read your energy, and sometimes sometimes I've maybe gone in with a little bit of a, oh, don't come near me because I'm so nervous, and you don't attract people that way. So I think the best you can do is eye contact and smile and just say, you know, I'd love some help whenever you're free. You know, where shall I wait? Or, you know, just actually have a word with somebody. You do not have to buy anything. You are not obligated to buy anything ever. You can spend 3 hours in somewhere and not buy something. And yes, a sales associate might be, oh, spent 3 hours with this person and they've bought nothing. However, you know, let me just caveat that by saying I don't like wasting somebody's time. And if I know that I am not buying anything, that I'm just trying things on, I will say, I'm not buying today, you know, I don't know. I say silly thing. I just make light of it and I say, oh, my credit card's been blocked today. There's no buying, but, you know, I'd love to have a look at a few things if that's okay. And it's up to them if they want to spend the time with you, because firstly, you might end up buying something. Secondly, if you don't buy that day, you will go back to that sales associate if they've given you the time of day. So I would not be worried about spending time in store and not buying something. I'm not going to buy for the sake of it, because that's not right. It really, really isn't right. And you'll end up not going back into that store because you feel pressured. Go into store, don't let anything stop you. The worst that can happen, remember that it happened to me. And whatever you do won't be as bad as that. And even though that happened to me, I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still here to tell the tale. It's really not the biggest problem. It really isn't. So just go and enjoy the experiences in store. And if you really don't like the experience and you don't want to buy from the store, then buy online. But if you really would like it, you just feel a bit intimidated, just face it head on. Go in and enjoy it and let me know how you get on. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on another one.